Imagine this. Every time you ask ChatGPT to write an email, summarize a meeting, or generate a picture, a glass of clean drinking water is silently poured into the dirt. We've been sold a lie that the internet is weightless, that the cloud is just invisible data floating in the sky. It's not. You probably used AI 3 times before lunch today. You didn't think about it. Neither did I until I found out what's happening in the desert towns right next to these data centers. Right now, the world is blindly racing toward artificial general intelligence. But the billionaires in Silicon Valley have hit a physical brick wall. It's not a lack of code, it's the physical limits of planet Earth. The AI industry is currently consuming so much electricity and water that tech giants are literally being forced to restart dormant nuclear power plants. We aren't just building an AI brain, we are building a monster that is drinking the physical world dry. Welcome to the trillion-dollar energy crisis. Let's make this personal. When you type a query into an AI like ChatGPT, thousands of servers inside a massive warehouse light up. Those servers get incredibly hot. To prevent a literal fire, data centers pump millions of gallons of fresh water through cooling systems. According to researchers at the Rochester Institute of Technology, every 20 to 50 questions you ask ChatGPT requires the equivalent of a 500 milliliter plastic water bottle just to cool the machines. I checked my own ChatGPT history last week. I did 200 prompts in a month. That's 10 bottles of water I never knew I used. Now, multiply that by the 2.5 billion prompts OpenAI processes every single day. 17 billion gallons. That's not a typo. That is enough water to supply the daily needs of 500,000 human beings, people, gone without water, so that a server stays cool. And it's happening in places like Mesa, Arizona, and Santiago, Chile, regions suffering from historical droughts. While local residents are asked to take shorter showers, the servers next door are drinking millions of gallons a day, just so someone can generate a picture of a cat riding a skateboard. But water is only half the crisis. The other half is raw, unadulterated electricity. An AI search uses nearly 10 times the electricity of a traditional Google search. The grid simply cannot handle it. So where do the tech giants go when they've tapped out the local power? They go nuclear. In late 2024, Microsoft made a stunning announcement. To fuel their massive AI data centers, they poured $1.6 billion into restarting a nuclear reactor. But not just any reactor. They reopened 3 Mile Island. If that name sounds familiar, it should. In 1979, 3 Mile Island was the site of the worst commercial nuclear accident in United States history, a partial meltdown that terrified the nation and froze the American nuclear industry for decades. And in the small Pennsylvania town of Goldsboro, the community that lived through that 1979 meltdown, that watched their parents evacuate, that spent decades fighting to keep that reactor closed. Nobody asked them. The desperation for AI dominance is so intense that Silicon Valley is reviving the ghosts of our nuclear past. Microsoft isn't alone. Amazon Web Services recently tried to buy a massive data center plugged directly into a nuclear reactor in Pennsylvania, bypassing the public power grid entirely. To understand why this is terrifying, imagine you're at a dinner table with 10 people. Amazon just sat down and announced they're taking 6 plates for themselves, and they brought their own chef. The other 9 people, that's you, that's your neighbors, are forced to fight over the 4 plates that are left. That is exactly what is happening to the American power grid right now. The government had to step in and block Amazon's deal because utility companies realized the truth. If hyperscalers like Amazon and Meta consume all the cheap, reliable energy for themselves, it will threaten the stability of the entire grid. Who pays to keep the lights on in our homes? We do. Through skyrocketing electricity bills, we've spent the last 3 years arguing about whether artificial intelligence will become conscious or whether it will steal our jobs. We were looking at the software while completely ignoring the hardware. The truth is, we might never reach artificial general intelligence. Not because the scientists failed, but because we simply run out of power. The cloud is not invisible. It is steel, it is uranium, and it is water. The next time you open ChatGPT, remember there is a town in Arizona where the reservoir just dropped another millimeter. You didn't cause it alone, but you're a part of it. The question is whether anyone in power is paying attention to the physical world we are burning to keep the digital world running. We are. Subscribe to AI Horizons, because someone has to.